Welcome to Diamondback Fitness. Today we'll be showing you how to safely remove your crank arms from the body of your machine. The bike we're performing this on is our 510IC indoor cycle, although the technique is the same with every bike in our lineup. To do this, you're going to need a 9/16 socket, a flathead screwdriver, an adjustable wrench, the crank puller tool, or the universal crank puller tool with handle that you can buy at any local bike shop. And then if you're doing this on our UB or SR models, you will need a size 8 hex key. That is to remove the crank bolt instead of the crank nut, which the socket is used for. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the flathead screwdriver, we're going to remove this end cap, and then that'll expose the crank nut. We're going to take our 9/16 socket, we're going to go ahead and loosen and remove the crank nut. And this will be the only difference in this versus doing this on an IC versus an SR and a UB, is this crank nut will be on our indoor cycles and the crank bolt will be on the UBs and the SRs. So that's where you're going to want to use your Allen or hex key to remove this bolt in place of where that nut is. The first technique we're going to show you is with the crank tool attachment. So we're going to completely separate these two pieces and then put this end, we're going to go ahead and screw into the crank. Make sure this is straight, you don't want to damage the threading of the crank arm. And then use your adjustable wrench to tighten it even further so it's pretty secure. And then screw back in this attachment. And then once you feel the resistance being all the way in, you just want to take the adjustable wrench, pry the crank arm away from the body of your machine. Second technique we're going to show you is with the universal crank puller tool. We're going to separate two pieces. Take this piece, making sure it's straight, hand tighten it into the crank arm, and then finish tighten it probably 2 or 3 more revolutions with our adjustable wrench. And then insert and tighten the handle. Now that you've removed the crank arm from the body of your machine, you can now access the Phillips head screws that hold this plastic shroud on there. Once you remove that, you can then do any internal maintenance that you need to perform. To place the crank arm back onto the body of your machine, you're going to remove the crank puller tool. You can use your adjustable wrench for this. And then realign the crank arm back onto the body. Use the crank nut now to hand tighten back onto the stem where the crank puller is positioned, and then the socket wrench is going to firmly tighten this crank arm and push it back on to the crank shaft of your bike. Then reinstall the plastic cap and you're good to go.
Thanks for watching. If you have any other questions, you can reach us at support@diamondbackfitness.com. To see our full line of products, go to diamondbackfitness.com.